What is up everyone? So here it is, finally the Cyclone CoC build guide. This is from your league starter onwards to the low budget version, to the mid budget version, and to the end game version. Okay, there are a lot of changes for 3.21, I would say, including buffs and nerfs, so I will go through some of it. All of the POBs are updated on my Google spreadsheet already. I will just leave it for you guys to see, and I will just emphasize on those important things or notes that you should take note of while playing this build. Okay, so for this round, the build guide, I'm not going to show any of the clips of me mapping and bossing. If you want, you can just go to my previous videos. They are all similar. As you can see right now, I'm not in a very good condition. I am like struggling with the COVID virus right now, so yeah, I'm just going to go through a very quick one on all of the important stuff, and I hope this helps. For any other questions, you can always just come over to my Discord and I will help you through. Okay, and so first up, this is the league starter that I will recommend. So far, among all of the league starter that I've played to transit into the low budget CoC, Arc has been the smoothest and the best I have played so far, and the tree is somewhat very similar to the low budget build, and that's why I really love this, because you don't really have to respect too much points onto it. Okay, so yeah, the skill trees are all over here. There are various levels of the skill tree. At the very beginning, you will just probably, this is like from Act 1 to Act 5, right? So it's pretty straightforward. I didn't really break down into Act 1 what you need to take, Act 2 what you need to take. It's very straightforward. Act 1, you just take the small portion here, and Act 2 you just take the small portion over here. Act 3 you can go either the left or right. Act 4 also the same, and yeah, blah blah blah, you can just go on. Alright. Okay, and for here, right, it is really very simple. There is really no special stuffs or whatever. You just basically use your 4-link or 6-link up from the top to the bottom. Alright, and yes, we do have the Wave of Conviction, Hextouch debuffs for the curse, auras for survivability and for slightly more damage, and Frostblink Arcane Surge with your cast when damage taken, Molten Shell for more survivability, because we're gonna scale armor. Okay, there will be additional 12 sockets for you to level other skill gems, and if you feel you're actually struggling with some damage, you can actually like add on more skills when you're bossing, like Orb of Storms in conjunction with Arc. Okay, that works as well. I'm just giving an example. Okay, the items is really very simple. I don't really think like at this stage you are going to craft everything, because it is a league starter, so just do whatever you have. Life resistance, almost everything is just life resistance. Your rings just go for stats and life and more resistance. Okay, for your wand, just go with something that has spell damage. Alright, you can throw in essence that has a spell damage as well, and then just cast, just benchcraft cast speed. You should be good. Yeah, and there's really nothing much over here. For the notes, right, this is basically where I have gone through, I've listed down every single skill gems you should take in every of the quests. Okay, so it's also very straightforward, so just go through the list. I have shown every single one on what are the rewards you should take after you've done every quest. Okay, and next up, this is the low budget CoC. Alright, once you have gone through the league start phase and you have farmed enough currency, I would say somewhere around less than 1 divine should be more than enough. Okay, just do the chaos recipe, and the items are pretty cheap over here, so there's really nothing much to struggle on. Like I say, just do the chaos recipe all the way until you're able to transit into the low budget CoC, less than 1 div, and from there onwards you can stop doing the chaos recipe and just continue your map LS progression. You should be good all the way until red maps. Okay, so there are a lot of changes here. Okay, I'm going to go through. First of all is the skill tree. I have only put the level 68, 80 and 90 skill tree. You can do and have a look. And yes, the changes are basically over the top here. I've actually taken this whole cold damage, and with this new cold mastery, right, enemies permanently take 5% increased damage for each second they have been ever frozen by you up to a maximum of 50%. Okay, so this new node I think is just very, very insane. Okay, it's like for no reason, because you are going to trigger so many cold spells, so many cold skills, right? There is just so many opportunity and chances that you're gonna freeze the enemies, like rare or bosses. Okay, even though bosses you are not going to like technically freeze them, but they are going to have the frozen status or ailment by them, so this works on them as well. And yeah, maximum of 50%, that's crazy. Okay, it's really very crazy. Let me show you. There's a configuration over here though. There's like seconds of freeze on enemies. The max is 10, okay, because like 5% and maximum 50%, so 10 times 5 is 50, so 10 instances of damage. If I'm going to make if I'm going to make this to 0, my damage is going to drop from 2.3 million to 1.6 million. That's a lot for a low budget build. Okay, that's really, really a lot. So yeah, just this one passive mastery is really very crazy. And over here, because of the changes to mana, okay, they have removed all of the reservation mastery. I have removed this one over here as well. The precision no longer has the 100% less mana reservation. Instead, now it's under mana mastery, where overall all of your skills is just going to have 12% mana reservation efficiency of skills. So I'm going to take this. Okay, and because of that, we're going to have slight mana issues, and I had no choice but to branch out over here, which is to take the mana and reduce mana cost for this too. Right, so yeah, just to take note of this is the changes. But other than that, the rest are mostly the same. Okay, the only other factor that I taken is this, the leech mastery. Now they have a new mastery where you have 40% increase. You have 40% increased armor evasion rating while leeching. 40% is really a lot. Okay, it's almost equivalent to a flask suffix, and that's why I think it's really hard to give out this, especially when you're constantly leeching mana with this build. Okay, just flat up 40% is really a lot. And yeah, this is basically a build. There's really not much changes. We are still gonna go with the usual stuff. Okay, so for the skills, right, on your cosplay trigger 1 and 2, there are quite a few changes. So okay, so the 6th link now will be the Ice Spear and GMP plus increased critical strikes. Okay, I think this is like the bread and butter of the build, because when you are progressing, you eventually find that monsters are harder to kill, bosses are harder to kill, rare monsters are more crazy difficult. And so Ice Spear is kind of like the go-to for your 6th link, alright, because you want to deal with single target damage as much as possible, and that's why your 6th link is Ice Spear. For the first cosplay trigger, I am going to go with Ice Nova, Hypothermia, and Calling Strike. Okay, this is so that you have more AoE coverage around you, around you, and instead of Ice Spear just shooting in front, you're gonna have 360 degrees of clear around you, and you will not, you don't have to go in one circle just to clear pack of mobs. Ice Nova is gonna handle it nicely. All you need to do is focus on rare monsters with your Ice Spear, 6th link Ice Spear. Alright, so that's the purpose of the Ice Nova. And for the second cosplay trigger, I am gonna go with the Creeping Frost, Frostbite, and Frostbomb. Okay, this 3 is like the utility skill gems. Okay, I don't think I need to explain Frostbite and Frostbomb. Okay, they are both cold skills and they can be triggered with cosplay. Creeping Frost is literally just a slight, or I would say a more defensive layer plus damage, because it's gonna create chilling areas, right? Whereby chilling areas is gonna lower your monster's action speed and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, this whole entire section is just utility wise. Okay, auras is still going to be the same: Precision, Defiance, Banner, Hatred, Determination. And we are no longer going to use the Vortex debuff, where the Vortex, Hex Touch, Frostbite, Elemental Weakness. No, we're not going to use that anymore. We're going to change to Mark on Hit and Sniper's Mark, so that we don't really have to click more stuff. Okay, like I mentioned, right, the 6th link Ice Spear is literally just to cover all of the single targets, because that is where the real problem comes. And your Ice Nova is just going to help you clear surroundings. So we don't really need to focus on Ice Nova. Ice Nova is more like killing for magic and white monsters. whereas your Ice Spear is more for killing rare and unique monsters. Alright, and the rest is the same. CWDT Molten Shell. Our Frost Blink is no longer going to link with Arcane Surge because of the nerf to Arcane Surge for us. Arcane Surge no longer provides a buff that is going to add spell damage to us, so there is no reason to add Arcane Surge anymore, unfortunately. Okay, so technically you will have one extra skill points over here. Okay, you can put whatever you want, whichever you want. You want to put the Portal skill gem, it's also fine. Okay, item wise, we are going to go with 2 Cosplay as usual. 2 Cosplay is kind of the easiest to scale and to progress. Don't really have to think so much. However, I want to emphasize again that when you are purchasing your Cosplay for the low budget, please take note that one has to be 14% and one has to be 12%. Why is this so? Okay, so first of all, in the low budget version, because we're going to use 2 one-hand sword, right, getting as much attack speed is better. Okay, so here comes the second part. So the reason why we're going to take one 14% and one 12% is because 14% is going to be for your high budget build. Okay, it scales accordingly with the APS, and 12% is going to do it for your mid budget build. Okay, if you're going to use 14% on your mid budget build, you're going to not have the correct attack per second, and that's why this is 12%, because the mid budget build is going to scale very nicely, which I will show later on. Right, and the rest of them is just same life resistance. Only your gloves you need to benchmark accuracy rating. The rest is, yeah, your amulet, your rings and stuff is just fulfilling the rest of the attributes here and there. Okay, very straightforward for the low budget build. Your rare item is just gonna scale life, resist, attribute. Just for the glove is like accuracy, and your boots is like movement speed plus 1 slot. The rest is pretty much the same. Okay, flask, I also don't really need to mention, like your Quicksilver flask, just go for immunity, reduced curve effect, diamond for the crit strike chance, granite for the armor, sulfur for more damage. Yeah, just more damage in short. If you don't want to go sulfur, you can go amethyst, it's fine as well, but in the lower ends of the map, like your white and yellow tier maps, you don't really need chaos resistance, so I will just go for more damage. Okay, last one, life flask. We are not super powerful. Look at the life here, it's very squishy. Okay, it's really very squishy for this kind of life, but then because we're gonna have high armor and stuff, and our resistance is kept here and there, so you might experience deaths here and there from crazy rare monsters, but come on, it's not the worst. Okay, it's not the worst. It's okay to die a few times, but you won't die excessively. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, so this is for the low budget builds. For the notes, you can just read it over here. Yep, and that's for the low budget. Please do read the please do go through the various skill trees properly. Alright, and this is the mid budget build, and there are some changes to the mid budget build whereby over here you actually have to make up your mind or decision whether you want to play the Ice Spear or the Ice Nova already. Okay, I will say technically actually the skill tree is the same, it's just that your skill gems is going to be different. Okay, so yeah, I'll go through the Ice Spear first. So the usual are going to have various skill trees even all the way until level 100. Okay, because I think this build technically is actually strong enough to even reach until level 100 if you really want. Right, so I'm not going to go through the rest of the skill tree. Is pretty much basically the same. The only changes I have made is over here. Okay, so hold on, let me go to level 91. Yeah, so I have given up over here because I think it's really not necessary. Alright, instead I'm going to scale towards the bottom and take up towards precision node over here. And yeah, due to some mana issues, I have taken Righteous Decree again over here. So please do take note of this. Okay, it's not really the best, but yeah, you really need to take note of mana when you are playing CoC, because if you do not have enough mana to execute or trigger all your skills, you are literally dealing way more damage than what you actually see over here. Okay, so yep, that's the changes, and yeah, as usual, I have changed the Leech Mastery. Taking this 40% is really very important. Okay, so next is over here, the things that I want to emphasize. One very important thing I want to emphasize, yeah, over here. So please remember to take this reservation mastery, whereby there is 20% increased live reservation efficiency of skills. Because we are gonna do Prism Guardian, we are gonna where is it? We are going to allocate 3 aura skill gems on our Prism Guardian, and they're all 50%. Okay, I have many people or many players coming to ask me why I cannot reserve all 3 auras on my live. Okay, so I have written down, okay, maybe not over here, I do not have the notes over here, but yeah, to reserve 3 of the 50% auras on your live, right? First of all, you need to have this reservation mastery. Second, you need to have this, which is a corrupted jewel with 2% increased reservation efficiency of skills. Okay, with this, right, you can allocate all 3 auras on your life. Okay, this does not affect at all for those of you that know there is these changes in the mana mastery, because this is only mana. Okay, only mana. Whereas the corrupted jewel is increased reservation efficiency of skills. They did not state whether is it mana or life, so it basically means everything. Alright, and yeah, you can see the damage is actually quite high, 8.4 million. Just for a medium budget. Medium budget is going for like less than 10 div. Probably there's no cluster jewel. I don't want to make it too troublesome. The only problem you might actually want to have is just this. Yeah, it's basically your Militant Fate. Okay, so Militant Fate is probably the only problem you might face over here. The rest is pretty much very simple. Okay, yes, so like I mentioned, there are 2 sections to the skill tree, skill gems, alright? You got to choose whether you want to Ice Spear or you want to Ice Nova. Because the skills are different, when we are going Ice Spear, I would prefer to go for Frostbite, and the mark on hit Sniper's Mark is going to give us way more damage. Okay, Sniper's Mark is just crazy. The damage is just crazy coming out from Sniper's Mark, and this is really just focusing on let's say rare monsters and unique monsters. Yeah. Alright, and the rest is pretty much the same. Okay, Cosplay Trigger is the same, auras and stuff like that. I'll just leave it to you guys to see. And yeah, because of new changes, there's actually 1 more skill gem slot. Okay, oops, sorry, there's 1 more skill gem slot, so I would, there's really nothing else good to take already. So if you want, right, you can really just take another Portal Scroll, which is gonna help you save the hassle of just opening the Portal Scroll over and over again. Okay, alright, for the items, we are going to transit into the low life ES, right? So there are a lot of changes. It is actually the same as the previous mid-budget build, just that there are some changes, such as the glove. I have input the Searing Exarch item and the Eater of World item on the glove. Okay, I don't think it is very expensive to actually throw them in, especially when I'm not even asking like for a very high tier modifier on your Searing Exarch or your Eater of World. Okay, just the base one is even good enough. Like 15% chance to unnerve and projectile pierce an additional target. This is just good enough. Alright. Boost is also just very simple. Just get ES and movement speed. If you can get chaos resistance, it's really good. This is also slightly expensive because I just leave it here because so that you don't have to change when you go into the high budget. Alright, all you need to do is just throw in a catalyst when you go into high budget and you're good. Rings is just basically fulfilling your attributes and have some energy shield, and your belt just have a cooldown recovery rate plus some energy shield as well. And of course, if you do not have enough strength index, here is another option that you can actually benchcraft your strength index. Alright, the flasks are very much similar, just Quicksilver, Diamond, Granite, Amethyst. Over here, I think going for Amethyst should be crucial already, because we're gonna meet like poison and chaos damage stuff that are gonna hit really hard. So Amethyst is gonna help you when you are bossing. Oops, I don't think I have it yet. Okay, so basically, right, when you are bossing, you are not going to go for Amethyst flask. Okay, so when you are actually bossing, just go for the silver flask over here. Okay, why is this so? Is because when you're inside a boss, you are not going to kill monsters a lot. Like let's say invitations, alright? When you are in invitations, basically it's just one boss, right? Or a few balls that are moving around, and that's not going to proc your boots where there is a 10% chance to gain onslaught for 4 seconds. This is not going to happen. Okay, this is not going to happen almost every time, and that's why I would say when you run into boss fights in invitations, or you know, when you're killing bosses like those guardians or whatever, just take the silver flask and go in so that you have onslaught full up time, and your attack rate is going to be on the dot. Okay, it's going to be sitting at a very nice spot where your trigger or your cast on crit skills spells is going to reach at a maximum breakpoint. Okay, very much nothing else to talk about. So yeah, just remember when you are doing this build, have one skill gem that has the 2%, no sorry, have the corrupted jewels, one at 2% reservation efficiency and one with immunity to corrupted blood, right? And then you should be good. Okay, and one last thing I want to address is there are actually a few people that come and ask me, bleeding is actually a problem for them. Okay, so I think this is all part of experience from players' perspective. We actually have a very high amount of physical damage reduction already. This basically scales with bleeding actually, if you do not know. And when you are bleeding, right, technically there are two scenarios. One is you just stop moving. Okay, you just stop moving. But I know sometimes it is impossible to stop moving because monsters are continuously coming to you, right? They are going to come to you and hit you. So you still got to move around and kill them, and that's where you're going to start taking the bleeding damage. So in these kind of situations, what you do is, that's why you have Vow Discipline, okay? Vow Discipline is going to help you, and you're going to proc Vow Discipline so that your ES is just going to continuously replenish. And that's how you go about fighting with bleed. Okay, this is the only two options. Of course, the best is if there are no monsters, just stand still, guys. Just stand still, don't do anything, please. Just wait for the bleed to go away. Alright, it doesn't make sense if you are bleeding and there's no monsters and you just continue walking and then you die and then you come and complain to me, say, hey, how come I die to bleeding? I'm like, what? I don't know how to respond to that sometimes, alright? So it's just kind of a little bit of logical and sense in that. You got to know when to stop and you got to know when to go. Right? Okay. So this is for the Ice Spear. Alright, I am not going to go too much in the rest of the detail. And this is for the Ice Nova. Okay, the Ice Nova is basically different, whereby your last skill is basically added cold damage, and your cosmic trigger is going to be Frostbolt, GMP, and Calling Strike. Alright, that's all. However, the difference is, like I mentioned, right, we are going to use Frostbite Elemental Weakness, the double curse, so Vortex and Head Touch is going to remain over here. Okay, and because we do not have enough space, if you are going for Frost Nova, your ring 2 should be an unset ring so that you can put Frostblink on it. Alright, so please take note for this. This is the only difference for Ice Nova. Otherwise, the rest, everything else is the same. Okay, everything else is the same other than the Sulfur Flask. Alright, we are going to go for Frost Nova. If you are going to go for Ice Nova over here, then there's no point using Dying Sun. Please use the Sulfur Flask instead. Or if you are feeling weak, you can find a Bottle of Fate for some reason, then by all means, use a Bottle of Fate. Okay, so that's it for the mid-budget build. Alright, and now for the high-budget build, this is the skill tree. I only have from level 80 onwards because I think it's not viable from level 68. Like I mentioned, this is the high-budget build, okay? And there is two variants. One is the Ice Spear and one is the Ice Nova. They both scale differently and have different skill trees. Basically, it's just on your cluster jewels. Alright, I will go through the Ice Spear first. So this is the Ice Spear. And, okay, before I go through every other thing else, for those of you that have played Ice Spear the previous league, we all know that the Nimis Ice Spear is just insanely awesome, good. You can, whatever you can think of is just some broken shenanigans from that, okay? So with the changes to Nimis now, right, okay, I do not know how well this build will perform, okay? Because at this point in time, I do not want to confirm what is right and what is wrong until I really test it out myself. We might not even have this anymore. This might become back to 1 again, depending on what is actually the real changes to it. So this is where I am going to test it out and see how, and yeah, I will just make a compilation of the changes to Nimis over time. Okay, so yes, this is the skill tree. It is basically the same from the previous league. Okay, it is the same. The difference is over here where you have the 12% increased mana reservation efficiency, and like I say again, due to mana problems, right, we are going to scale a little bit more on our mana, which is the corrupted gems over here, corrupted jewels, sorry. We're going to have the increased attack speed with swords, right, 1 on this, and then 4% reduced mana cost of skill. Okay, this is between 3 to 5, so you know, I don't really like an exact or fixed number, so I'm just gonna put 4%, which is the middle. If you can have more, then by all means, please. The other one is also just another crit strike multiplier with cold skills and another 4% reduced mana cost of skills. Okay, so this total of 8%, right, is actually really very important. Okay, let me show you why. This is Ice Spear. Okay, now it is going to cast 10 times, which is going to cost 50 mana per second. Okay, I am just going to take any one of the, okay, maybe I'll just take this. I'm going to remove this. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Okay, and by removing 4% of the mana reduction, of course, right, look at how much mana is going to increase. This is just for Ice Spear. Okay, this is just for Ice Spear. And if you're going to include every other skills, it's going to be crazy. Like you, okay, so Ice Spear is 80. Alright, cause our Creeping Frost is 37, so that's 107 already. Frost Bomb is, okay, I'm just gonna take it as 3. Frostbite is one problem, okay. It's not gonna be very accurate, but because it's gonna proc on your trigger skills, it's gonna proc multiple times. I would say maybe half. Okay, so half, so just put 60. So that's 167 mana already. That's insane. That's really insane. Okay, so you gotta take into consideration of your molten shell as well, your mark on hit and stuff like that. And I can tell you, we will not have enough mana. Okay, probably at the bare minimum, and I don't really want to keep it very safe at the bare minimum. That's why I want my skills to unleash like its full potential, right? So I'm just gonna add this in to ensure I do not have any problems. Okay, and that's why with this we have 50 mana cost per second. Your main concern is just this. Alright, so yeah, there is really no other changes other than those. Pretty much with the aura effects, I'm going to take one more extra small note over here, plus the 40% increased amount armor again and evasion rating while leeching. This is really very good. And look at here, we have 90% physical damage reduction already, and so much more armor than the previous version. So more tanky at the cost of slightly lesser damage. I think it's perfectly fine. This build is really meant to hit single target damage, and with Nimis, we all know how crazy it can be in terms when you play in conjunction with Nimis. The single target is just so goddamn good. There is really nothing this build can do, okay? Other than some Uber bosses, because like really melee build just sucks against Uber bosses, but you know, if you really want to try Uber bosses, you can really struggle. It is not undoable. You just need to know their mechanics and dodge them at the correct timing. Alright, so yup, this is for the high budget build. I'll leave you guys to see the skill tree. Okay, just take note that there are various options of the skill set and the item set. Alright, so item set is also different. The default is of course this without Nimis. Alright, where your Ice Spear is just going to shoot once, and Nimis is going to shoot twice. That's why there's a 2 over here. But then again, I really do not know what is the interaction this time, so do not count on it. I'm just going to leave it here. Hey Hunter is also over here. Hey Hunter will need the Awaken cast on crit level 6. And of course, Hey Hunter Nimis is the best. For those of you that have played last week, we all know that this is the best. Okay, Mage Blood is... I don't really like Mage Blood, but with Mage Blood, everything is just consistent. For those of you that like Mage Blood, this is also an example of how you can scale it. Basically, you just need your Awaken cast on crit to be level 6. Right? And for the items, as usual, we're gonna have the default without Nimis, one with Nimis. Okay, you can basically just straight away replace the ring. That is why I have catered this ring to be just like this, so that you know you don't have to go through the hassle to change all your other items. Just remove the ring and plug in Nimis. Okay, and you can have fun. Same with the belt. Same with our Headhunter belt. You can just remove the belt and just slot in the Headhunter. You don't have to change anything else, right? So it's just a 1-for-1 item change, and I'm pretty sure this is like convenient for everybody. The only item you have to change when you are doing for the Headhunter is the boots. The boots, you need to go for the elevated cooldown recovery boost, otherwise we do not have enough cooldown recovery rate. Right, so just take note of that, and there is one for Mage Blood if those of you are really interested in. But like I say, I don't really like Mage Blood, because Mage Blood I feel is more for the bossing type, and I am someone that really likes to map, so I will always just go for the nimis and Headhunter. Okay, so yes, this is the Ice Spear, Cyclone CoC. I have a ton of notes over here, okay, so please read them before you actually ask me any questions. I might not have time to update all of this, so if you see any changes or problems, please let me know. Okay, please let me know. I'm really very sick right now, so I really do not have time to update everything. Okay, so this is for the Ice Spear. Alright, and then we have the Ice Nova also. The Ice Nova, basically your cluster is different for the medium cluster. Alright, we're gonna go for the area damage cluster with vast power and 35% increase effect, and we're gonna only take one path to it, and it's the same for the other side. Right, so this is really the only changes for Ice Nova. Of course, for skill gems, it's different. Ice Nova, and the last one is not greater multiple projectiles. It's basically awakened added cold damage. And your 3-link cosplay is going to be the same: Frostbolt, GMP, and Cowling Strike. Okay, the last one you can actually change whatever you want. I just prefer Cowling Strike so that we can kill those pesky, very tanky rare or unique monsters much easier. Right? We need Frostbite Elemental Winner, so the Vortex Awakened Hex Touch is still going to remain over here. And yeah, because we are scarce on sockets for the Ice Nova, you will need to use an unset ring so that you can plug in the Frost Blink on it. Okay, for the item wise, the only difference is over here. Oh wait, why is there? My apologies, I will need to change this. We do not have the projectile pierce. This is basically for the Ice Spear. Okay. Okay, something is wrong over here. Alright, like this. Yeah, correct. This is correct. So this is the only changes in the Ice Nova. Okay, basically we do not need the projectile pierce anymore, right? So we're going to change the Eater of Worm mod to become the inflict cold exposure on hit, applying 11% of cold resistance. And then we do not need a pierce anymore for the bench craft, so we're going to change to +1 to level socketed AoE gems. And we're going to place your auras over here, so all of them will have the +1. Okay, other than that, everything else is the same. Okay, there's really not much difference between the Ice Spear and the Ice Nova, just that skill gems wise it is different, cluster gems is also different, and the glove is different, right? Other than that, everything else is basically the same. Okay, as usual, there is a Headhunter as well. Please take note, when you plug in the Headhunter, you will need to change your boots as well. Mage Blood if those of you really want, and of course you need the Silver Flask, okay, when you are fighting boss with the Ice Nova. Previously, I have actually fought the invitations, all of the invitations, like even the Fear, with this build, okay? So I can confidently tell you that it is doable on the Fear white color with this build. Okay, more than enough. The damage is good enough. Okay, you might die 1 or twice, but when you go into the arena, right, the invitation arena, just activate all your flasks and man up and just cyclone right beside them. Okay, your whole purpose is literally just to focus on one boss. Once one is dead, focus on the next one and continue doing this, right? So yeah, the Fear is definitely possible with this build. Do not underestimate this 8 million damage. Okay, honestly, I don't even think this 8 million damage is very accurate, to be honest. Okay, to be really honest, I don't think this is very accurate. It feels way much higher than that. So yep, take note of this. Other than that, there is really nothing. Oh wait, actually I did not take this. Yeah, so it's actually much higher. Okay, enemies are definitely on consecrated ground because of Bottle Fate. Okay, and yup, that comes to the end of the PUB section. Okay, so I am going to show you the Google Sheet now. Okay everyone, so this is the Google spreadsheet. The PUBs are all updated. However, guys, I really do not have time to update all the trade links. Okay, this is basically from the previous one. What I can assure you is I will do these trade links over time. Okay, I will do it over time when I am playing the game. As of now, I am really very sick and I do not have the strength to actually go through one by one and do it. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I think by the end of probably day 3, you should at least see the low budget and probably the mid budget of these trade links go up. Okay, so please take note for this. I really do not have time. Once again, I'm sorry. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. All the paste bins are over here, including the arc what is it, the leak start. All right, I updated it. I don't really have I don't really do a guide for it. So yep, I hope for those of you that are actually playing CoC this league again with me, I think it's going to be a blast because the Crucible skill tree is going to probably make very significant changes to this build. Okay, we can see a lot of crazy combinations, especially with the changes in the nimis. Like there is one Crucible skill tree node that actually has the same text as nimis, right? We do not know and we do not know what it is. So if I actually get it, then maybe it has the same skill set or interactions with nimis, right? So in that sense, we don't even need nimis anymore, and that's actually very awesome. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So alright, I hope and wish you guys all the best for the new league. I will see you in the next video. Bye.